Our covered bridge. This is a sad story. In Zebraland, there is a pond. It had an island in the center that was connected with two bridges. One was the covered bridge you can see. There's a lot more water on the other side of the bridge that you can't see in this photo. The bridge was registered with the New York State Covered Bridge Society, and every summer a few people would stop by asking if they could see our covered bridge. At first, we thought, this is ridiculous. We live way upstate, not far from Vermont, a state known for its classic covered bridges. But Vermont covered bridges are constructed with heavy timbers made to carry cars, pickups, and tractors. They do have a few small, narrow covered bridges made for bicycles and shoes, but they bridge streams, rivers, or gorges. They're not connected to a narrow island in the center of our pond. Shortly after we moved here, a fellow stopped by asking to see our covered bridge, and we thought, you gotta be kidding. But he showed us a Covered Bridge Society's booklet listing all the covered bridges in the area, and there was ours. So we took him out to the pond, pointed to it, he snapped a photo, made a check mark on his list of covered bridges, and thanked us. Every summer, 2 or 3 people would stop in to see our bridge. Oddly enough, they were never disappointed. They always appeared quite pleased. Our pond is spring-fed. The water is warm for maybe 3 feet down. Below that, it's ice cold. We did swim in it in the summer, and then in the winter, we'd clear the snow and skate on it. There's even a little pond house where we could put on our skates, or in the summer, change into bathing suits. Miles lived in the pond house for a while. Then Meatball used it as a writer's retreat. He wrote most of Stars and Stuff there, but only during the day. The bullfrogs were too loud at night. Fulton is especially fond of frogs, but our little house is right next to the pond, and when those big bullfrogs got to bellowing back and forth across the pond, Fulton said it was so damn deafening they were shaking the building. In the late 80s, we had a severe windstorm. It blew over our covered bridge, flattened it. In the morning, we found sections floating in the pond. For the next 2 or 3 years, people would still come by to see our bridge, but we'd have to tell them, alas, it is no more. They were saddened to hear our little landmark had been leveled. Finally, our bridge was struck from the Covered Bridge Society. We did consider rebuilding the bridge, but discovered the muskrats had undermined the island and the banks of the pond, so we had the island dug out and used the dirt to build up the banks. Now, without an island, we had no place for our covered bridge.